What up, YouTube world? It's Coffee back again. Got a nice sports video for y'all. A couple different stories, topics to hit on. It's been a minute since I got into some sports content the way that I like to. Been wild busy, I'm trying to play catch up like I've been sharing with everyone who taps into the channel. A lot of different stuff going on in the sports world. The draft just passed. Everyone out there, comment. Let me know if you like the picks that your team made. Baseball's underway. A lot going on. So make sure to comment, subscribe. But let's get into our first story here. Michael Vick, an amazing athlete, hell of a quarterback. You know what I mean? I would say definitely changed the way the quarterback position was played. I mean, we had seen some mobile quarterbacks in the NFL before, but no one quite like Michael Vick, who actually holds the record for all-time rushing yards, for a quarterback at 6,109 yards. And for those who are already up on the channel, you guys know Coffee is Bills Mafia to the core. And Josh Allen, just after a few years in the NFL, is already at 2,325 rushing yards. So comment, guys. Do you think Josh Allen could play catch up like I'm trying to do with my content, right? To Michael Vick on the quarterback rushing list and break that record? I mean, I remember in Allen's first or second season, there was some point in time where they, all the sports graphics that they share and however many games through Vick's career at that point. And then, where Allen was, he was like right on par with Vick for the rushing yards, you know what I mean? So, I don't know, as a Bills fan, that'll be something real interesting to watch. Hell, just as a football fan, it's really nice. I don't want to get too far off the topic with Michael Vick, but it's just nice to see, people finally showing Allen the respect he deserves, First, no one believed in him at all. Then some fans, he's all right. As these few seasons he's been in the years he's been in the NFL has progressed. Apologies, y'all. More and more fans recognize the greatness and talent. And this past season, he finally, there's no denying it. The season before, a lot of people were still on the fence about him. Except for, even now, though, Nick Wright's punk ass, is always going to hate on Josh Allen. But getting back to Michael Vick, it's no secret he got into that trouble. Comment, guys. What are your thoughts regarding that? Do you think the prison bid overshadows what Michael Vick did on the football field? Or do you think he's been forgiven by most fans and, it doesn't put a tarnish on his career? I mean, he went and did his time. I mean, obviously, it's not like he had a choice, but what I'm saying is he did his time. He came back. He focused. A lot of people actually feel Vick was a better quarterback. That run with the Eagles was amazing, man. I don't think anyone saw Vick taking that job from McNabb at that time, but he had a hell of a run with them, man. It's kind of crazy, too, as a Bills fan. There was actually 2 times that Vick was almost a Buffalo Bill. One of them was when he came home from that prison bid. The Bills had offered him a deal, and there's actually a clip out there, or an interview, where I believe it's an article. He shared that the commissioner shot down the deal and told him he wanted him to sign with the Eagles. It was kind of weird to me. I just didn't understand it. I remember him saying the Bills, the Browns, and another team. I can't recall exactly who it was. Maybe the Bengals. That's where he thought he would end up. But the commissioner, Goodell, flat out hit him up and said, nah, man, go to Philly. That's pretty, I don't know. I don't like the commissioner manipulating things like that, But anyways, then the season, 2013, 14, 15, somewhere around there, he played a year with the New York Jets. And the Bills had also offered him a deal during the offseason and free agency. And, the Bills were basically the runner-up. He ended up going to the Jets. They were terrible. And I bet you he wished he played with the Bills that year. We ended up whooping on him. I can't even remember who their starter was because he sucked. Oh, I think it was Gino ended up getting benched, and Vick did come in that game. But here as it stands now, he's been out of the league a few years or whatever, did some sports commentating. And here we see him out on the field, and he still got it. As you see, he launched the ball right out of the stadium. I thought this was pretty cool. It was just dope to see Vick, In my lifetime as a sports fan, coming up in the world, seen all kinds of dope stuff go down, that I'll never forget in all the major sports or whatever. And Michael Vick's run, his career, him going to the NFL, playing in Madden as him, it's just something I'll never forget. So this was cool to just kind of see the blast from the past, Michael Vick. Remember playing with him in Madden, though? What was it, 94 overall speed? I always got to bring that up every time I get an opportunity to, man. He was amazing. Never could get to the Super Bowl, though, right? Matter of fact, didn't McNabb beat him in 2004? McNabb and the Eagles beat Vick and the Falcons to advance to the Super Bowl that year, I believe, right? Or was it only the divisional round? And then with the Eagles, I believe, didn't they make it? I know they definitely made it to the second round. I believe they did go to the conference championship again. I don't know, but still an amazing talent, amazing that even after all the downs and ups and downs and the prison bit and everything, he was able to fight back. And again, show people he was could actually pass. That was always the stigma. Oh, he can just run. You know what I mean? And now here he is at 41 years old. Been out of the NFL a few years. Still's got that arm, man. There's a funny scene out there, too. Do any of you guys watch Atlanta with Childish Gambino, Donald Glover, where they're at the club and Michael Vick is racing people outside the club in the parking lot? That was funny. But comments with all your thoughts on Vick, the whole Josh Allen debate. The prison bid, do you think that's something that he got past, or do you think like a lot of people still look at him like, you're no good, or what's your thoughts about it all? Let's discuss it below. Speaking of the draft, though, and how I gotta get to, all the content on the draft picks, my Bills draft picks, just, again, guys, I'm playing catch up. Coffee's playing catch up. I've been super busy, but here's a pretty interesting draft pick. Taken in the 4th round, 109th overall pick by the Seattle Seahawks. He's a cornerback, 6'2". That's pretty tall for a corner. But you're seeing the highlights of the way he plays the game. A lot of hype behind this guy. Be interesting to see what he does in the NFL. Shout out to the bro Alias, who flux with the J Coffee Talk channel. He's a Seahawks fan. They're in like a in-between eras type mode, after Russell Wilson's gone. And, still crazy to me that him and Pete Carroll fell out the way that they did. And, it was a rough couple seasons for them. So this gentleman is definitely going to be out there fighting to make a difference on that defense and get the rebuild going. And he happens to be named by one of the sports greats of all time. Most definitely a legend. We got to say R.I.P. to him. But he's not a football legend. He's actually an NBA legend. You see, we're talking about Kobe Bryant. Now, this was pretty cool to me. I guess this guy, you see his name is spelled differently, obviously. But, you're going to have that name. There's no way in life you're going to go through life without everyone taking notice of this. And, oh, you got the Mamba mentality, bro, et cetera, et cetera. And, through interviews, he said that sometimes in his life, he got, it could be annoying or whatever. But he's fully embracing it now in the NFL. As you see, he wore number 7 in college. But in the NFL, he's rocking number 8 with the Seahawks. I guess 24 was already taken. And I don't know, this is pretty cool, man. Definitely going to move a lot of units when it comes to the jerseys, in my opinion. And again, watching his highlights and how tall he is and everything, comment for all the draft gurus out there in the Seahawks fans and just all you football fans, what do you think of this guy, man? I'm definitely going to be keeping my eye out for what he does this season. And with the Cincinnati Bearcats, where he played in college, he got a scholarship there, and had to fight his way up the depth chart. Became a starter pretty quick and ended up going on to win the Jim Thorpe Award, which is, for the best corner in college. And it's pretty cool, too. You see in that one clip, they had a hoop on the sidelines after he would make a big play. He dunk on the hoop. I like it, man. I'm sure there's going to be all kinds of cool, slogans and, T-shirts and merch and stuff like that, or things the announcers are going to, say when this guy makes a play. I'm sure we'll hear Mamba mentality a lot. I don't know. I think it's cool. So comment, share your thoughts. Were any of you guys paying attention to this guy in college? Let's discuss it all below. Again, anyone who's new to this channel, it's all about hearing from the people. Coffee talking it up on the different topics that we hit on here, guys. Music, news, sports, current events, life, and much more. And, moving on, R.I.P. Kobe. And speaking of Kobe, speaking of the NBA, the Lakers, we got to talk about one of the best shows on television right now that you definitely should be watching. If you're not, you are missing out. It's a great drama. You know what I'm saying? It tells some really dope history with the LA Lakers and the NBA. Guys, I always share, I'm an NBA fan. And again, comment too about the playoffs, guys, who you're liking at this point. About midway through the playoffs. Sorry, Lon the Don. That's my bro. He is a Pelicans fan. We were pulling for them. They got knocked out in the first round, so I haven't really talked much NBA since. But it's just wild to me while watching this show that chronicles the history of the Lakers and, Dr. Buss buying the team, him fighting to draft Magic Johnson, which, now everyone's like, of course, Magic is a legend. Back then, not a lot of people believed in Magic, even though, Larry Bird's name was bigger. But it's crazy because he had just beat Larry Bird in the NCAA championship. And Dr. Buss went through a lot of hell with Jerry West in the organization to select Magic Johnson. And then that was just the beginning. People didn't believe that Jordan could run the point, you know what I mean? Or Jordan, my bad. Johnson could run the point. And for real, guys, this show is just, like I said, it's simply amazing. I remember seeing an ad for it during the Super Bowl. It's the dopest show out, right? One of the best shows out right now. Like I said, the history, the drama, him going from where is he from? Lansing, Michigan, out to LA and Hollywood and living that life of not just a professional athlete, but a celebrity, a superstar. And, as I was going to say, I got a little bit off topic. It's crazy to look back then and say, wow, the NBA, they were talking about was like the 10th rated sport. The television networks were about to drop it. They didn't even want to air it anymore. They were like, yo, no one cares about this ish. Basketball ain't about shit. But obviously we know things changed, and a lot of it is credited to this Lakers team. So comment, let me know if you're watching the show. If you're not, you know what I'm saying, get on HBO Max, pull it up on the internet or something, stream that show ASAP. I guarantee you will be hooked immediately. Even if I was watching it with wifey, she's not really a sports fan like that. Even if you're not a sports fan, you just like to watch a good story, a good drama and everything, this show, you know what I mean, you will be intrigued immediately. John C. Reilly is great as Dr. Buss, and just, all-star cast, everything. I can't say enough good stuff about this show. So comment and let me know if you're watching it. Me and Jay Millie were talking about it a little bit. He told me Alias was watching it as well. But something too, again, R.I.P., you know what I mean, to the late, great Kobe Bryant. There's an interesting, I don't want to call it an Easter egg, but an interesting scene on this show that we're talking about, The Winning Time, where the Clippers are playing the Lakers, Magic's first game as a Laker after being drafted after camp and everything. The season starts. But the Clippers, who were San Diego at that time, which it's crazy, guys. I totally forgot that they played that in San Diego. And, a lot of people don't know, as I share with you guys all the time, I'm a Knicks fan nowadays, but I'm not like really into it the way I am, like my Bills and, the Sabres and even the Yankees. You know what I'm saying? Like Bills is NFL by far is my favorite team to follow and everything. But little known fact, prior to being the Clippers, that team was actually known as the Buffalo Braves, who were only in existence for like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, something like that. And they went out to the West Coast where they were the San Diego Clippers and then later became the LA Clippers. But anyways, in this game, Kobe's dad is out there on the court. And there's a part where the announcers say, congrats to Joe Bryant, who just had a baby, and he's in the crowd, and they show the wife with Kobe Bean Bryant, as he's just a newborn baby, and the announcers are even joking like, man, he looks like he's already mesmerized by the court and has that competitive edge and wants to get out there and play ball like his old man, and they're just kidding around. But obviously we know, joking or not, they were 100% right, because he went on to be one of the greatest who ever did it, coming straight out of high school, straight to the pros, the three-peat, and you know what I mean? Just all the amazing awards and achievements and everything that he did. It's dope. So make sure you check out that show. Hit the comments with your thoughts about everything we touched on here. And again, guys, stay tuned. Subscribe. This is Jay Coffee Talk. Music, news, sports, and more every day, all day. We're playing catch up. We're grinding. I'm out of here. Peace.